Hello, my name is Joshua Broomfield, and I will be creating a presentation detailing the Emergency Operations Center. The objectives was I was tasked with setting up an emergency operations center using the information from the class. I'm to outline the functional roles of the emergency manager, duty manager, command staff, public information officer, safety officer, liaison officer, operation coordination chief, to outline the functional roles of the planning coordination chief, investigation and intelligence coordination chief, resource coordination chief, and finance and administrative coordination chief, and I will be given a brief description of the mission and skill sets of each position. Setting up an Operation Emergency Center. According to FAGNO 2012, the Early Emergency Operations Center needs to be able to fit 50 to 60 people, movable chairs and tables, whiteboards so people can write, prudent information on them, an emergency generation for power, heat, and air conditioning, a small kitchen, and I would say a few bathrooms with showers because a lot of emergencies can extend into overnight or extend into a couple days, so we want to be prepared to be there for as long as we have to be. The Emergency Operations Center should definitely be equipped with as many laptops with wireless capability. We're going to want extra batteries and chargers for these laptops. I want me some LED projectors. I want smartphones with chargers. I need multiple landlines just in case the cell phones go down. I need SOPs and guidelines for each positions, and I need copies of the operational plan. As you see in this picture here, you got landlines, you have some TVs with some information on them, and you have computers on each desk. Like this is if I was to envision creating an operation center, this would be something I would be influenced to create. It's organized, it's neat, it allows people to work within their own workspace. The emergency manager is playing the head. That's the top supervisor. They organize and direct and coordinate all of the emergency operations center. They are the leadership while the emergency operations center is taking place. Their duty is to remain focused at all times about the strategics of the mission at hand. Skill set according to WOM in 2006 alludes that an emergency manager must have great critical thinking and decision making. They must be well versed in communication and understanding of the overall vision of the corporation. They are to be highly organized and should have great time management. Deputy emergency manager. This is the most important help to the emergency manager in many ways. Like the military, they handle all the things that can be solved without going to the highest level, which is the emergency manager. They are also the first to be called upon when the emergency manager is delegating out tasks. Their responsibility in simple terms is to be the emergency manager in training. The command staff. The mission is to be the greatest organization of information. They are in many ways the memory of the emergency manager. They are also the organization itself. Anything that is important that should be noted by them, and they should be able to recall a clear, precise matter. They should have great ability in multitasking, above average organizational skills, and strong secretary skills. The public information officer. Now, this is the face of the company. We always see on CNN, on Fox News, somebody getting up there and making speeches. This is going to be our speech person. They are going to be talking on behalf of the team, which is the Emergency Operations Center. The public information officer should have a variety of job duties, but reading and verbal communication is going to be what they really do. They should liaison between the public and the company. They should be able to do press releases, answer questions from the media, and also be able to excel in interviews. The safety officer. The safety officer is responsible for monitoring and assessing hazardous and unsafe conditions. Even though we're in the middle of an emergency, we never ever want to put those that are working for us in unsafe conditions. Their skill set would be able to carry out post-incident analysis, establishing work safety, healthy and health committees, knowledge of decontamination process, knowledge of good safety practices, and developing emergency procedures. The liaison officer. The liaison officer is the networking heartbeat of the whole emergency operation. Whether that be we need to talk to somebody else, we need to bring somebody else in, we need to do a joint mission. The liaison officer must have excellent communication skills, both written and verbal. They must have the ability to work with a wide variety of people, and I need my liaison officer to be strong in organizational skills. The operation coordination chief. Now, our liaison is doing the networking. Our secretary is recalling information, and our deputy manager is helping our manager on charge. So who's over operations? That will be the operation coordination chief. They are the people that are going to make sure that we are operating in a very precise, efficient, and effective manner. Our operation chief should have great skills and should be able to advise and plan. They should always be highly prepared and have exceptional communication skills so they can share and communicate how the operation is supposed to be done. Planning coordinating chief. Now, our operation and our planning coordinating chief are going to work hand in hand. The planning coordination chief is the glue that ensures everything is coming together. They're collecting and evaluating information. They're interpreting and disseminating intelligence. They're preparing documentations for action plan. They are tracking resources assigned to the incident. They are maintaining incident documentation, and they are developing plans for demobilization. So while operating chief is making sure we operate at a high efficient level, he is depending on the planning coordination to make sure planning coordination chief to make sure that our plans are also being created in an efficient and an effective manner. The investigation and the intelligence coordination chief, all three of these chiefs are working together because in order to develop a good plan, you definitely need to investigate and figure out what's the best course of action. You also need intelligence. So the intelligence and the investigation chief is one that is able to amass massive amounts of information to be able to decipher it, to be able to see and understand it. Their skill set, they should possess great investigating skills as well as a verse networking and an abundance of management and organizational skills. They should be finely detailed in report writing and reviewing of skills. The resource coordination chief. In the military, this would be the supply chief. This would be the person that gets you what you need, whether it be bullets, headgear, helmet, lights, eyewear, gloves. There are supply chains, so because they are a supply chain, they're most likely going to have a company credit card. They're going to be able to spend massive amount of money to purchase things that we need to be successful. But with that being said, their skill set, they need to be greatly organized. They need to be one of the most organized people within the team. They need to understand risk ability to do risk management, meaning if I buy this, is this going to pay off in the end, because we're not also in the business of wasting money. They also need to be a deal finder, or what some people would consider an extreme couponer. They need to be getting the best deal for the money that we have in the company, and they need to be able to communicate. So if something is questionable or they feel uncomfortable purchasing something, they need to be able to communicate to see if that purchase can be confirmed or denied. The finance administration control chief. We are not in the business of working just because we want to, and though we might want to help individuals, we also have to stay within budget, because being out of budget could very much harm us in the end. So that's the role and the importance of the finance administration control chief. They have a strong accounting skills, strong analytical thought process, always thinking about the bottom line of the company. They are well versed in financial technology, and they have great verbal and written communication skills. This is the dream team. You see Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Claude Drexler, John Stockton, Scottie Pippen, um, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Karl Malone, just the greatest, Charles Barkley. This was obviously the greatest, one of the greatest basketball teams ever to be put together. The operation, the EOC is comprised of many different skill sets, but at the end of the day, the team has but one goal: to offer aid to those who are in need. While the roles of each person is quite different, it can vary in terms of direct and indirect. But the job, everyone's job is vital in the mission, and therefore the Emergency Operating Center is like creating a dream team. These are my sources. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.